Hey everyone, this is Dawn. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm glad you're here. Today I'm going to show you how to make another card using the November stamp of the month called Christmas Snowflake Mandalas. Okay, so this time I'm going to use the large mandala and the smaller mandala, and then a sentiment from the set, along with some papers from Christmas Story. So I'm going to start out with the larger mandala loaded into my MISTI, and I have a piece of evergreen cardstock cut at 4 by 5 1/4. My border is going to be the Christmas Story pattern paper, so that's cut at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I'm inking up the mandala image in black ink. So I'm going to stamp this out. And then I'll clean up the stamp, and I'm leaving everything in my MISTI in place, and I'm going to ink up the stamp using Versamark ink, and I'm going to stamp exactly over the same image in Versamark. Okay, so I'm going to heat emboss clear embossing powder on top of this image. I prefer using clear over black ink as opposed to black embossing powder, especially with a detailed image. I think the finish is just a lot better. And then you can clearly see the detailed stamping. It's really just preference, but I like the way it turns out to do the double stamping. Okay, so just sprinkling the powder over and shaking off the excess, and then I'll heat this up and melt the embossing powder. Okay, so that's that larger mandala, and now I've got the smaller one loaded in to my MISTI, and I'm using candy apple cardstock, and I'm going to do the exact same process. So I'm going to stamp first in black ink, and then I'll clean off my stamp with my stamp chamois, and then I'll stamp again in Versamark. And then I'll sprinkle it with clear embossing powder and heat emboss that. You can, of course, use other colors or other choices, but I liked the look of this one. So I'll go ahead and heat that up. And then I'm going to bring in a blending brush. Okay, so my cardstock is candy apple, and I'm going to blend some scarlet ink on top and just have it darker in the center and softly blend out towards the outside of the image. To add some darker red to this. And I'll fussy cut everything out. Okay, so I'll skip ahead. So now I have that mandala cut out, and I can layer it on top of the larger one. Okay. Now I'm going to stamp my sentiment. And this says, "Wishing you a joyful Christmas." So I'm just going to do simple black ink on white daisy cardstock. I'll stamp that out, and then I'll trim around it. Bring our trimmer in and just lining it up and trimming close to the image, but I want to leave enough on the left and right side so that I can dovetail each side and create a banner out of this piece. Okay, so I'm going to create some very shallow dovetails, and I apologize, it's almost off camera here. I wasn't paying attention. So just trimming vertically in the center and then taking each side to meet that snip and cutting out a small triangle. Okay, so now we can start assembling our card. Pretty simple, but adding in the embossed images just really makes a difference, I think. Okay, so I'm just going to put the piece of Christmas story paper down with Tombow tape runner. I'll add that first piece again with Tombow. Make sure that I have a even border around the edges of that patterned paper. And then I'm going to pop the mandala with some thin foam tape, and then I'll pop the sentiment with thin foam tape. It's a pretty card if you need lots. That's a pretty easy one to mass produce. Okay, and for the last step, I'm going to add some crystals. These are from Buttons, Galore, and More. I'm just going to take a bunch of the tiniest ones and I'm going to glue them down in the center of the mandala. It almost looks like a poinsettia now. So pretty. Gotta have extra bling, right, for Christmas cards? So we'll glue those in and the glue will dry clear. So you can get this stamp set for $5 with any $50 purchase during the month of November, or if you're a VIP, you can get it for free with a $50 purchase. I'll make a list of all the supplies that I used with links in the description below. And if you haven't subscribed yet, if you'll please click on my photo or hit that subscribe button, I would really appreciate it. And thanks for watching.